The horror movies begin Monday at 4. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Some people from Susquehanna County aren't satisfied with how a hazardous waste site is being cleaned up, so today they dumped 6 steel drums, the kind used to store chemicals, outside the Department of Environmental Resources office in Harrisburg. The residents are angry over this, the Lincott landfill in New Milford. The site looks rather empty from Skycam 16's view, but the people are worried about what's buried underground here. They claim that chemicals have gotten into groundwater. DER denies that. The residents want DER to move quicker in the cleanup here in Susquehanna County, but the state says the matter is tied up in the courts. It's traffic tie-ups that the city of Wilkes-Barre wants to avoid here along Kidder Street. You can see from Skycam 16 the construction work along the busy roadway and problems it's causing. The city engineer is asking PennDOT to do 3 things: put up cement barriers at Scott and Kidder Streets to help funnel the traffic, have the work here done at night, and change Kidder to a one-way street during construction. So far, no answer from PennDOT.
There are several matters making consumer news today, matters that could affect your pocketbook and your health. Gerry Gartenberg and his Action 16 department says there's new concern about a low-calorie sweetener that many of us are using. Gerry?
Right. Nolan, Karen, it's called aspartame, but you may know it as NutraSweet or Equal. It's used to sweeten a host of products, and some of you may add it to your coffee or tea or even cook with it. But a study published today by the National Academy of Sciences says cooking with NutraSweet may not be safe.
Check the label on a box of NutraSweet and you'll see the sweetener's never been approved for cooking. The government says when you cook with NutraSweet, the heat destroys its sweetening properties. But today's National Academy of Science study says heating NutraSweet does something else. It breaks down the product's chemicals into a form that may be cancer-causing. The government says it won't comment on the possible cancer connection until it has a chance to review the study.
Now, what all this boils down to for you and me is that cooking with Equal or NutraSweet is a no-no. Even if the government gives it a clean bill of health, when you cook with it, you just won't get the taste you're after. Now, if someone's been after you to get that stereo fixed, listen to this from the Attorney General's office.
It says Saline Factory Service in Oliphant broke the state's consumer protection laws by charging customers for repairs and then not making those repairs. The Attorney General also says the company promised to install replacement parts for some consumers and never did.
Saline Factory Service has agreed to pay $3,500 in fines and to stop those illegal practices. Now, I spoke with a representative from the company today. He says the firm has no comment.
Okay, you've been pretty busy lately. Thank you, Gerry. Well, remember last week we told you that the U.S. Postmaster General predicted we'd be paying 8 cents more for a first-class postage stamp? Well, the proposed increase isn't as bad as he thought. The Postal Rate Commission today recommended that we pay 2 cents more to mail a letter. Right now we pay 20 cents a stamp. The panel also recommended that a postcard go up a penny to 14 cents each. Now, if the Postal Service's Board of Governors approves, the higher rates could begin in February. Well, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark is next with a weekend forecast.
How about it, Tom? Will it be a beauty?
Well, we're going to see some changes over the weekend. We'll meet me out back, and I'll tell you when it's going to rain.
The moment you've been waiting for. I would say so, yeah.
Wheel of Fortune. It's too much fun to miss.
I can understand that.
So, how do you play?
Come on, Jeff. Show us your spin.
Electric key as in phone.
You have a lot of money, $7,000.
Wow, that's great.
Okay, and it's not finished yet.
Catch the big winners on Wheel of Fortune tomorrow following PM Magazine, only on WNEP 16.
The lines are long and the jackpot is high. The Pennsylvania Lotto jackpot is way up there once again. And Newswatch 16's Mark Davis is live now in downtown Wilkes-Barre to tell us how the people are reacting. Mark?
Well, no, the people are reacting because this card tonight can win you $8 million. That's how high the jackpot is. But this week, Lotto Fever is a little different than other weeks. Sure, the jackpot's high, but the people here at the Anthracite newsstand in downtown Wilkes-Barre tell me that it's interesting for another reason. I'm here with Betty Lou Bavolik. And Betty, why is it especially interesting this week?
Well, ever since the man won $40 million in Illinois, everyone's talking about it. I think it's really playing in their minds, and everyone's thinking, you know, that might be me, it could be me, and, you know, the play is a lot heavier.
Okay, thank you. Well, Nolan and Karen, it's been quite busy here. Of course, as always, when we come on the air, there's nobody here because they're all standing on the other side of the camera, afraid to come out. $8 million are drawing at 7 o'clock. You can see it right here at Channel 16, and it's all through this little card. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam, Public Square in Wilkes-Barre. Karen?
Okay, thanks, Mark. Well, let's see if Tom Clark has a winner of a forecast for us out in the backyard. I hope so, Tom.
8 million, yeah.
Yeah, boy, you retire on that.
Hey, I'll tell you, it'd be nice if we had a few more days like we had today, that's for sure. But changes this weekend will be minor, okay? Don't worry. I think the tomato farmers tonight can also rest assured that there won't be any frost at daybreak tomorrow. Outside now, it is just a beautiful evening. Deep blue sky, not a cloud in the sky, and the temperature in the backyard stands at 67 degrees. The humidity is nice and comfortable. The wind coming out of the southeast at 7, and the barometer is falling now, but under quite a bit of pressure tonight at 30.38 inches. Air quality good today. Range in temperature 69 and 41, which did not break the record low, which still stands at 38. Now there's a shot from Skycam 16 showing some fog along the Susquehanna River this morning. You see the air at night over the water stays warmer than the air over the land. And when this happens, the warm, moist air rises in the morning and cools. On the Newswatch 16 color satellite picture just in, there they are, just some high cirrus clouds over western Pennsylvania now, and some more clouds to the west, all because of very warm air working its way towards the east, rising up and over this cold Canadian air mass. It was 90 in Chicago this afternoon, but it's not going to get that hot here. However, I think as this warm air does work its way over the state, we'll pick up some cloudiness here tomorrow, but it won't rain, and I think that by late Sunday we'll have temperatures well up into the 70s once again. High wind warnings out in the Midwest today for gusts exceeding 60 miles per hour. And out in, well, the heat wave continues in Southern California. It is now 98 in downtown L.A. And there's Hurricane Marie in the Pacific. So quite a bit going on. There's a front there that'll get here, I think, Monday and Tuesday with our next chance for some rain. And now here's my forecast for tonight. You'll need your moon visor out there. The moon just 2 days away from full. And if you're going to one of the many high school football games tonight, take along a jacket. It will be cool. The morning low in White Sox, 50. Peckville, 48. Whitehaven, 45 tonight. In Bangor, 49 degrees. And looking down to Trevorton near 50. Jersey Shore near 50 tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow, a decent day, but there will be some cloudiness that may dim the sun and cause it to fade at times. But nonetheless, I think you'll like it. New Milford, 72. In downtown Wilkes-Barre, it's Super Saturday for a tremendous shopping spree. Check it out. 73 the high. Mahanoy City, 72 tomorrow. And out at Beaver Stadium, where Penn State will win, I hope. First game, 74 degrees in the stands and 74 in Montoursville, where the air show gets underway tomorrow. Sunrise and sunset for a Saturday, 6:36, and the sun goes down at 7:25 tomorrow evening. Fair tonight, 49. Nice tomorrow, 73. Partly sunny on Sunday. The big company picnic. It should be dry, so I guess I'll keep my job for another year. 78. Showers, our next chance of rain coming in on Monday. So it doesn't look too bad. You know, my weather spy from Lopez in Sullivan County called me. He reported a low temperature this morning of 23.
Oh.
Frost, heavy frost out there.
Wow.
Makes me cold thinking about it.
That's cold.
Thanks, Tom. Joe Zone is coming up next, and he's going to have the sports, of course, tonight. A preview of tomorrow's Penn State openers.
Plus a look at the Super 16 Game of the Week. Sports is next as Newswatch 16 continues.
This fall, NEP is the place to be for Penn State football. September 29th, Penn State versus Texas. October 6th, Penn State versus Maryland. October 27th, Penn State versus West Virginia. And November 24th, Penn State versus Pittsburgh. Penn State football at its best this fall right here on WNEP TV 16.
Well, there's no secret that Tom Clark is rooting for Penn State, as perhaps most of us are, but there must be some Rutgers fans out there, too, Joe.
There are. You know, today I was getting my hair cut, and the women We're talking about tomorrow's Penn State game.
So
they're getting ready. They're getting ready down there. Penn State opens up tomorrow with Rutgers. That's the softie on what I think is the toughest schedule in the country. After Rutgers, there's 10th-ranked Iowa, 5th-ranked Texas, 9th-ranked Alabama, 7th-ranked Notre Dame, Pitt, Boston College, both ranked. But let's not look past Rutgers. The Nittany Lions have a problem, and that's inexperience. Just 6 seniors back to start. They still could be explosive because they've got Doug Strang back at quarterback. After a slow start last season, who'll ever forget Nebraska, he finished with a big year. Almost 2,000 yards passing, 19 touchdowns along the way. The question is, will the Nittany Lions come up with a couple of receivers to replace Kenny Jackson and Kevin Ball? Both graduated. The running game looks fine, maybe great. DJ Dozier, just a sophomore, gained 1,000 yards last season. He'll definitely make Strang's job easier.
Definitely a great asset to have. I mean, if you start getting tired, and you know you have to do it, but then you're tired and you give it to DJ and he does it. You know, I think that when I'm just sitting back and watching DJ run the ball, I think I'm looking forward to it. Sometimes it's just a great feeling just to hand the ball off and see a hole open up and see DJ get 3 moves and he's gone. I mean, that's something that every quarterback wants to see, and it's a great feeling.
There are questions in the offensive line and the defensive backfield. Coach Joe Paterno is hoping to find some of those answers tomorrow against Rutgers. And I'll be there tomorrow with sports photographer Dave Bertrand, and we will be back with that story for the early news. Well, the top-ranked team in the Super 16 opens its season tomorrow. Tim Karlson has a look at the Super 16 Game of the Week.
The second week of the season last year, North Pocono, the eventual Big 11 champion, playing at Valley View. It ended with a North Pocono win, due mainly to an experienced and explosive passing attack against the young Cougar club. This year, the meeting of the two comes a week earlier and at North Pocono's field, and with a concerned Valley View coach whose team came out of the preseason banged up.
We have James McCormick out with a fractured arm, so he definitely won't be seeing action for about 6 or 8 weeks. And we have some other kids that are still questionable as of today.
McCormick is one of the Cougars' top prospects at running back. Even without him, Valley View will have a potent offense. Coach Fazalia still hangs his hat on defense to win.
Can't play good defense. You know, you just can't score offensively a ton of points every game because the defense does definitely have an advantage. So if you play good defense, you have a very good chance of winning.
Injuries are no problem for North Pocono going in. Coach Nick Donato's main concern is strictly his team's mental sharpness.
I'm just hoping we don't make mistakes, offensively especially, penalties, offside your timing, and fumbles, interceptions, things like that.
Now, this year they got to come to your park. Do you think that's going to be any advantage at all?
Well, probably the fact that we're not going to their park is an advantage. I don't know how much home field advantage we have, but I think it's always tough. They have such a tradition, and up there, it's tough for teams to go up there and win. But, yeah, I'm glad it's at our place, and I'm glad it's a Saturday afternoon.
You know, it's almost a shame that Valley View and North Pocono have to play the first week of the season. It really doesn't give them a chance to heal up those injuries and also to shore up those offensive and defensive alignments. But that's the way it's got to be, and you can bet this game will go a long way into proving who'll be the winner in the Big 11 this year. Tim Karlson, Newswatch 16 Sports in Moscow.
And, of course, tonight we'll go 10 minutes with our expanded coverage, all of the scores. There are 41 of them, and the highlights. And, of course, the pennant race story, too. The Cubs will be at Shea Stadium with the Mets. Do or die time for the Mets. They have got to get themselves a sweep. U.S. Open, it'll be Martina versus Chrissy for the women's title. They both won today. That's all of it. Give tonight's your best shot. See you for the sports final.
Boy, you do a bang-em-up job, too, on that.
We'll be cooking. We'll be cooking.
Okay, thanks, Joe. And stick with us. We'll ride the rails for another Steamtown first.
A couple kicked off their lives together while under a full head of steam, and we'll whistle on that one by you as Newswatch 16 continues.
The craziest cars you've ever seen.
Tonight at 7.
It was another day of Steamtown, USA excursion trips today in Scranton, but for one couple on the train, it was a special day. Newswatch 16's Marisa Burke reports on the big hitch.
Like any couple, Jeff Schuler and Jill Wachlowski, both of Nicholson, wanted to start their married life on the right track. Nothing but the right track when you begin this way. A wedding aboard the Steamtown, USA excursion train. On the arm of the Steamtown manager, down the aisle came the bride, a nervous groom standing by, and then with a little wobble, the train ride from Scranton to Elmhurst was underway, and so was the ceremony.
They are man and wife.
marriage surprise.
The Broomfield Steamtown symbolizes a new life for Scranton and therefore an appropriate setting for a wedding.
Scranton's coming back, and we're going to be here. We got a long, prosperous life to go, and we hope that Steamtown will be able to do very well, and we'll be around to see it.
Even Jill's mother thought a train wedding was a good idea.
I hope they're happy and, you know, their marriage is as unique as their wedding day.
Unique? Yes. But what part of the wedding day will stand out for the bride?
The best part I'll remember is when we were pronounced man and wife.
And if you're wondering what's printed on the marriage license as to exactly where Jeff and Jill got married, it says they got married on Steamtown, USA, somewhere between Scranton and Elmhurst. Marisa Burke, Newswatch 16, on board Steamtown, USA.
That's a different idea.
Yeah, but what's the wedding official thing going to say about location of the ceremony?
That's
right?
what she said, somewhere between.
Somewhere between.
Leave it up in the air, I guess.
Okay, that's
well, that's
okay.
Newswatch 16 for this
I'm
Friday.
still worried about that, though. Be sure to join us tonight on the update when we'll be telling you about the drive to save a Penn State tradition.
Plus, Joe Zone and Tim Karlson will have all the high school football scores and highlights on 16 Sports Final.
Don't forget this weekend, the big Williamsport Air Show, and we'll have a report for you over the weekend with the team. World News Tonight is next with a special report on politics and religion.
We'll be back at 11.
For the team, thanks for joining us.
Enjoy your evening.